Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you an original Western Electric Touchtone Princess telephone. Now this is Monica's telephone from St. Louis, and so basically what Monica had was a broken modular plug for the line cord, which is very common on these telephones. These modular ports are getting very brittle because they are getting age on them, and so basically they really just kind of fall apart. And so what we do is we install a similar kind of modular port that is not so brittle, because it's been my experience that even if you get some new old stock of these and you use them, they will break too because of the age on them and the material that they're made of. So we use I'm going to move them out of the way here, the pieces and parts. So the ones that we use are a little more pliable. And so anyway, what Monica also had was her original power cord, or a power cord to the telephone for the light situation. And this transformer does work. We've tested it, and we were going to use it, and we can still use it, because what we've went to is a different style of transformer. And if Monica wants, it can always be cut right here, and then some connectors connected, because this is the screw down type, and it would be a very simple changeover to go to this transformer. Now these are unregulated power supplies, so they can run away with the voltage a little bit, meaning they may be rated at a certain voltage, but they can be many more volts when you measure them because they're unregulated. And this transformer here will work. It's just got it's putting out a little more voltage than we need. But with any of these transformers, it can be used though. With any of these transformers, you want to make sure that you keep an eye on them. They're going to be warm to the touch, but you don't want them to get super hot. And you don't want to put anything around them like curtains or anything like that, or any kind of cloth. So you want to keep an eye on them, and that's just a good idea with any unregulated power supply. Just keep an eye on them. So on Monica's telephone, she has the original light in hers, and you can see how it's kind of turned some of the plastic here a little brown, but that happens because these light bulbs, they produce heat. And then on the back side of her telephone, I want to show you, we've installed our modular port, and she can simply walk up to it now and plug it in like she's supposed to be able to do. And then we have our power supply. Now, I like to put a power port in these telephones because I don't like to hardwire the lines. It's a much cleaner look, and it's a simpler connection. So she can just walk right up to it and simply plug it in. And there is a switch on the back here that the light will be on all the time, even when it's hung up. But it goes into a little dimmer situation. The light dims a little bit when hung up, and it can be used as a night light. The other setting is where if you hang the telephone up, the light goes out altogether, and then when you pick it up again, the light comes back on. And that's the way it was set up from the factory. So it all comes down to a little more simpler situation now with the power plug and port. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some final testing on this telephone. We're going to go ahead and plug the power in, and what I'll do is I'll reach back here, and you can see I can simply unplug the power and then just plug it right back in. And then we'll see what setting we have it on. Now what we have is when you would lift the receiver, the light will come on, but when you hang up, the light goes off. Now we can set the setting in the other mode, and when I hang up, what will happen is the light will stay on, but it'll dim. But it is still on. And that's for the night light option. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go ahead and plug the telephone into a regular line on the analyzer, and we'll go ahead and ring the phone. Let that go one more time. Give you some dial tone. And if you watch the analyzer, you'll see the numbers go by. I'm going to end in a 2. And now what I want to do is transmit into the handset. So if you watch this red light here on the analyzer, every time I transmit, you'll see that light is 100% modulation. So it's an indication of 100% modulation every time you transmit. So now what we can do is we can move the telephone line over into a regular line. Give you some dial tone. And call like a time and temp number.
Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, April 17th. The time is 12:53. Current temperature 81 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Partly cloudy today, highs around 70. Mostly clear tonight, lows in the mid-40s. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, a high in the mid-70s.
Okay. And we can call one other number. Give you some dial tone. We'll call my number and it'll be busy. We'll call one other number. But we don't need nothing from there.
Calling Walmart.
Okay, so we know the telephone is in working condition and it's ready to be sent back to Monica. And these Pincess telephones are very sought after. She's got a nice touch tone here, and it's original, has its original bulb in it, and or the bulb socket. The bulb may have been changed over the years. You never know. The only other thing that we want to talk about is probably when the modular port split and broke. What happens is she had a crack here from that situation, so I tried to stabilize that, and I think it should be okay under normal use. So we're going to show you the telephone with a cover on it. And so now that looks for a much cleaner situation. And she can simply unplug her light if she wants to. And then, like we said earlier in the video, if Monica decides to go with her original transformer, it would not be, we would always do it for her if she wanted us to, or anyone could basically do it. As long as the transformer is on here, might as well use it. You just want to keep an eye on these and make sure they don't get too hot. And so this could be cut here, and connectors could be installed on this line that lights the light, the power cord, and then basically all you have to do is secure them down with the 2 screws that they give you on the original transformer. So we will return this to Monica, and she can go ahead and utilize this plug, and if she ever wants to change it, that can always be done very simply. So it's just a very nice telephone. We get a lot of calls about Pincess telephones, and a lot of times what happens is people get into the light portion of the telephone and they take the bulb out and they take the socket out. Now another thing that we do, and so sometimes they're missing, and Monica's is all original here. She has all of her equipment here. But another thing that we do on these telephones is install LED lights, and they consume less power. But as long as she has an original equipment here, might as well go ahead and utilize it. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.